I'm Katrina and this is Sow and Tare, and today I am ready to get these beds ready to be prepared. Now this corner is the worst corner that I have to deal with. That's because there's some grass that got in, and as we all know, grass likes to live. So it's mostly grass weeds that I'm going to be pulling out. I'm going to be doing that and making sure the water's working. I'm all ready to go. Got my bandana with butterflies and my farmer sleeves, and I always do a bucket for weeds, and I'm going to feed these to the chickens and the quail, and they'll pick off the seeds. So that's mostly what I'm going for, because it is seeding, because I was late. Another weeding tool I use is this little doodah, and it works great. So we're going to be doing this, and then we're going to be checking the water, making sure that the water lines are good to go, and then I'll be planting. Planting's probably going to be a different video. But just wanted to show you guys what it looks like here to clean up. So I let some things stay, like the poppy, the California poppy, the flower back here. I do let those stay until I plant, and the reasoning is it's just making a green manure. It's growing. Those have a super deep taproot, so it is actually, if you have compaction, it'll break up the compaction, and then it's also supporting the mycorrhizae within the soil. You know, it's giving it something to hold on to. But then once I plant things, I will pull those up and just lay them on top of the bed, and that will give the new seedlings some mulch. So let's get started. So something that's going to be tough with this bed is that this grass has grown up, and I already have water lines in here, so I'm probably going to be pulling up water lines while I'm doing this. So it might take a very long time to do this bed. Don't let the grass grow, guys, in places you don't want it. I always shake off the excess soil so that I keep my soil. Now if you are weeding grass and you think, oh, I'm going to use it as a mulch, and you just flip it over and lay it there, it will grow. Don't do that. You'll be weeding twice. I've done this before. Actually putting the plant underneath this tubing. I want to keep all this good soil. Now I realize I may be shaking seeds out as well, but at this point I'm going to have seeds in here. I'm going to have to deal with this next year. Alright, look at that root. Now this one even grew around the staple, so I'm going to set that staple aside and we'll put it in at the end. I do still have garlic in here. This right here is garlic. Okay, I'm bringing out the big ones. Now the thing with this is I already have irrigation in here, so I want to make sure that I'm not messing with the irrigation that's existing when I use something big like this. It should be easier though, theoretically. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at this humongous root mass. Now this soil is really, really good, which is why this grass is able to get down so deep. It's might be the third year I've had this bed here. I don't really remember. Oh, pulled up some garlic too. We'll replant the garlic. But look at that, guys. Alright, so if you're growing garlic, you can see it's growing. You can see they have teeny tiny bulbs. That is because if you check this, you know, in a month or so, you won't find any bulb at all. So this was obviously a head of garlic that got left in there. All of the individual cloves sprouted and became new plants. And the garlic itself, this is true with onion as well, the garlic itself is actually part of the stem. So it's not the roots are down here. So the plant grows, and then when it dries out, it senesces, and all that energy gets down, and all the energy gets stored in the clove. So that's what you're eating, is all the energy of the plant. So we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna replant it. Once I'm done with this section, I'll just throw it in, and I'll separate them out, because each one of these will become a separate head of garlic, which is pretty cool. We have more garlic here that I'm gonna try and leave. It might get pulled up in the process, but I'll try and leave it. Now, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys can see this board. There's a board right here, and that's what's making the bed. There's a pathway about this wide in between this bed and the sweet potato bed. So as I weed, I'm gonna weed that pathway as well. Just because if I don't do it now, it probably won't get done. And if I don't do it now, I will be compacting the soil as I go, and it's easier to do it once it's uncompacted. I haven't walked here for months, so there you go. This right here is a volunteer willow tree, which is exciting. This was a dill. This is the only dill I've ever been able to grow in my yard. I don't know why it's such an issue, because I love the spice. So here's a case where I have to lift the watering over the plant, because otherwise I will rip up the watering system, and I don't want that. So this is why you want to get all the dirt, because look how much is coming off with all that nice soil. Alright, time for the chickens to get this bucket. Now, I realize I'm putting a lot in with the chickens, but they're probably not going to eat all of it. They'll probably get most of the seeds, because that's what they like. They will get some yummies from the root balls and some minerals from there, and whatever they don't get, we'll compost. Alright, girlies. Oh no, is Overraptor back in there? I thought she was not broody anymore. Watch out. Beep, beep. Overraptor. We have a broody chicken. Alright. You guys didn't get your little kitty. Girls, you're gonna want to back up. You're gonna want to back up. I do have stuff for you, but it's big and scary, because I know you guys are chickens. Okay? Watch out, Rexy. Alright. There you guys go. Have fun. Okay, so just for fun, we're gonna put these let's put these on the edge. Well, I'll put them along the back actually. So these will right themselves again. This plant here is a flower. I'm just gonna leave it. Volunteered. So we have this big poppy here, covering up some of these. I'm not going to take out the poppies until I plant, which might be as soon as tomorrow, but I like it to still cover the ground. And if they, you know, they're not even close to seeding, and even if they did, they're super easy to pull up. So I'm doing the sweet potato bed. I don't even know if it's in the shot, but I'm doing the sweet potato bed while I'm in here, since it's just turning the other direction and getting things. And so far it's just had little baby starts of weeds. Got a nice beet here. And in fact, I haven't been over in this corner in a while. I didn't even know we had a beet here. That's a naturally seeded one. It's pretty cool. Alright, we're almost done with this bed. So most of the birds in here have not seen grass before. And definitely not this amount of grass. So let's see what happens. We'll probably get eggs in all of this tonight. Hey, guys, go. Take a break and watch them. Yeah, some of them are starting to try it. Hi, little boy. Oh, king of the pile. Queen of the pile. Alright, so I don't know if you can tell, but that bed is weeded now. We have some garlic in several places that I didn't harvest last year. We have a celery that was a volunteer. There's a beet that's a volunteer. And the rest of it is now open to plant. Now, I planted artichokes there last year, and for some reason they didn't come back. Some of them started to come back, and then they just died. I think maybe because we got so much rain, they may have gotten rotted, so that's unfortunate. But this area is going to be for the zucchinis, and then I did weed this bed here. This is for the sweet potato, and I do have 2 beets here. I think I might take out that one. This one is a variety that's not as tasty for the greens. You can see it's green there. You see how that one's a pink one? I think that one's a Chayoga, and the greens are much tastier. So, and it's on the edge of the bed, so I might take that one out. And you can see those right there are little baby beets. So one of these over here already seeded earlier in the year, and so we'll get more seeds and they'll do more babies. This bed here is a mass of garlic, and there is a lot of California poppy, and then in the back there's a lot of grass, but I'm just going to leave this be right now because my main focus today is to get things planted. So this bed right here, you can see it's for climbing. That's why I designed it. It doesn't really have that many weeds, so I'm going to leave it alone right now. The poppies will be pulled up. I don't know why we do have a tree there. It decided to grow. That's why. So this bed's ready. This bed is basically ready. It might not look like it, but this is where the tomatoes are going to go. There's California poppy that's gonna get pulled up and put as mulch. I just noticed I have one cilantro plant that is bolting right now, and I didn't even realize that it was there. So I didn't get the opportunity to for that, but I'll let that seed, I'll leave that there, let it seed. And then we have some chervil over here and some parsley that will stay. Even with the tomatoes, it'll get shaded and it'll either live or it won't. It'll likely live though. And then over here we have a blackberry. The blackberry has volunteered a couple of years ago. It seeded from my thornless varieties, and my thornless varieties, of course, when they have babies, are not thornless. So keep that in mind if you get thornless blackberries. But I'm going to dig that out and give that to someone. We have a chard, the yellow is a chard, and then this one over here is a beet. I'm going to keep the chard. I'll probably pull the beet just because we have other beets in the yard that can seed. And it's going to be bolting here pretty soon. Everybody else has. But I'll keep the chard. That chard has been there for a long time. It's reseeded itself many, many years. So I haven't planted chard actually in quite some time. Right here we have a little peach tree that has humongous amounts of aphids on it. And I was going to dig it up in the winter and I forgot. So I'll probably, and it is on the edge of the bed, so I'll probably spray that with neem. And again, this is self-sown. So I'll just tuck this under here and try and keep it on this side, this edge, and then I might trim it. But yeah, and then this down here is Chinese chive, and I'm trying to get this established in my yard, so it's going to be pretty much this little corner here that's going to stay. That'll stay, but we'll plant things right next to it. And then we have this hot lips sage, and you can see it's coming all the way through where the cattle panel is, and you can see how much of that bed it's taking up. Now it's planted way over there, but I do need to trim back both this one and this one, and it's going to be severe, and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, that's too much, but it's not. It will grow back. And then this bed here, let me move the chair. And then this bed here is pretty well good to go. I'm probably going to pull the closest beet here, let the furthest one stay. Again, trying to keep the ones with the red stems, and that's ready for planting as well. So my next task is to take the loppers and trim back those shrubs. They're going to be severely trimmed, so don't be surprised. But those are going to be severely trimmed back, and then once that's done, I'm going to be checking the water, because I like to do that, and then I'm going to be doing some amendments. I don't think I need a whole lot right now, but I do need to do some. And I did not turn on my water after all that rain, and so a lot of the soil has dried out really a lot, so that's not good. But so I'll be making sure the water system works, so that there's no leaks and all of that, and that's good to do before you put plants in, because if you have to mess with things, then you should mess with them before you put the plants in. So there you go, there's the backyard. I have some stuff to do in the front yard, but let's see how far we get today. Alright, so for those of you that have not dealt with sages, they can get big. This is a hot lip sage. It's really good. In the summer, when it gets hot, these flowers change to be white with red lips, and they should be changing, actually they're changing on the other one a little bit, but they should be changing probably mostly in a month or so. But we are going to cut off all the blooms. It's going to be very sad, but the bees and the hummingbirds have lots of other things to eat. Now this year, this is how tall the daffodils grew to get through this, because I didn't trim it back in time. But these guys can be pruned very hard. it's better to prune them not when it's hot. I mean, it's a little bit hot now, but they do bounce right back. And if you wanted to propagate them, they do propagate from cutting. So there you go. Made a separate video that'll come out at some point because I think I have a really clever way of trimming these shrubs, and you guys can see that later. So it's pretty easy, right? I'm going to be trimming the back side that's closer to the bed, and then that'll be ready to plant. Now I could clean this up some. I'm not going to right now because, again, my goal today is to get beds ready to plant. I can come back and clean it up. So there we go. So here's the other side of the horseshoe bed. I've now trimmed back the hot lip sage, and I forgot I had another blackberry. I'll dig that out too. But now I have room to plant once I check the water and do some amendments. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I think I'm going to give you guys a bonus video or two this week because there was so much to do to get the beds ready in just the backyard so far. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and share this with someone who needs to be encouraged to clean up their yard and get ready for planting. And everybody needs to plant gardens if they can, if they're able to, and it will be an awesome year for gardening this year. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.